RFK Jr. gave his childhood vaccine recommendations. That was nice. And then the Association for Pediatrics said, he's wrong. You should do this instead. It's like, who do you trust, you know? Like, oh, I don't even know. I'm going back and forth, you know? Do you trust the doctors with their degrees in pediatrics or the lawyer whose own throat is trying to stop him from talking, you know? It's so hard. I don't know what to think.
Comedian Jason Salmon has some bangers in his sets.
Mr. Secretary, do you agree with me that the president deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed?
Yeah, absolutely, Senator. That was phenomenal.
Let me ask you. But you just told Senator Bennett that the COVID vaccine killed more people than COVID.
Wait,
that was a statement.
I did not say that.
Okay, then let me ask, because you also were
Senator, I just want to make clear, I did not say that.
We'll check the record. That's a question of fact. You also said that you were also, as lead attorney for the Children's Health Defense, you engaged in multiple lawsuits attempting to restrict access to the COVID vaccine. Again, it surprises me that you think so highly of Operation Warp Speed when, as an attorney, you attempted to restrict access.
RFK was just talking about seeing kids in airports that look unhealthy. He's like, they got mitochondrial stuff going on. And I'm like, dude, the people who think you know what you're talking about do not know what mitochondrial means. That's two separate groups of people. It is. Also, stop staring at kids in airports. That's what got your administration into all the trouble right now. And I don't know. That's a weird choice. I looked it up. Turns out you can't see mitochondrial stuff on kids. That's not visible. Kids were just looking at you weird. It's like, yeah, maybe look less like a Jim Henson creation. I don't know. Maybe that's the problem.
And I know what a healthy child is supposed to look like. I'm looking at kids as I walk through the airports today, as I walk down the street, and I see these kids that are just overburdened with mitochondrial challenges, with inflammation. You can tell from their faces, from their body movements, and from their lack of social connection. And I know that that's not how our children are supposed to look.
Look, I understand people who were hesitant about getting a vaccine. I was hesitant. My wife, she's in the health industry. She got it right away. I was hesitant. I'm like, I don't know what's in it. She's like, but you eat food in America. And I'm like, that's a good point. She's like, is there anything you love that you also don't know what's in it? And I'm like, you got me. Store-bought French onion dip. Yep. Touche. I say that because the onions are French. But I don't know. I don't know what's in it. I've read the packaging. I still don't know what's in it. Those words are so long. I think I might have seen ivermectin in there somewhere. I don't even know. It might be the vaccine. I can't be sure. Probably not. Probably not. Because every time I eat it, I feel like I have long COVID for the whole weekend. I do.
And he wouldn't be done, however.
Just last week, in the days after the tragic shooting at Annunciation Catholic School in my home state of Minnesota, you went on Fox News blaming school shootings on antidepressants. You have no evidence of that because you have no evidence of a connection. And you want to talk about...
You're just saying something. You're just making stuff up.
You know, this is what you say, right? Secretary Kennedy, when someone presents you with information that does not fit...
I did not blame that shooting. I have no idea whether... I have no idea, and I never said that. You're making it up. You're twisting. Yeah, you are.
Secretary
you are being
Kennedy,
dishonest right now.
If you want to talk about mental health and gun violence in this country, if you want to talk about mental health and gun violence in this country, we should be talking about that, because that's what the parents of Annunciation School
You don't want to talk. You want to harangue, and you want to you want to have partisan politics. Yeah, we are doing those kind of studies now at NIH. We're launching studies on the potential contribution of some of the SSRI drugs and some of the other psychiatric drugs that might be contributing to violence.
Would you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID?
I don't know how many died.
You're the Secretary of Health and Human Services. You don't have any idea how many Americans died from COVID?
I don't think anybody knows that because there was so much data chaos coming out of the CDC, and there was so many perverse incentives. And these are model.
You don't know the answer of how many Americans died from COVID. This is the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Do you think the vaccine did anything to prevent additional deaths?
Again, I would like to see the data and talk about the data.
You have had this job for 8 months, and you don't know the data about whether the vaccine saved lives?
That's the problem, is that they didn't have the data. The data by the Biden administration absolutely dismal.
So who is politicizing? You're saying the Biden administration politicized all the data? Go back to what Senator Cantwell just said.
Fired Dr.
Go to the Trump Surgeon General.
They fired Dr. Grubb. They fired all the people who questioned the orthodoxy. They fired Dr. Gruber, Dr. Kaus.
So, Mr. Chairman, the Secretary of Health and Human Services doesn't know how many Americans died from COVID. Doesn't know if the vaccine helped prevent any deaths. And you are sitting as Secretary of Health and Human Services? How can you be that ignorant?
Just remarkable how far this administration chooses to fall, truly.
I'm from Texas, for those of y'all who are like racist. No, it's close. It's different. It's similar vibe. It is, but it's a little different. Yeah, it's a weird time to be from Texas. If you're a Democratic lawmaker, you need to leave Texas. But if you've committed horrific sex trafficking crimes, they send you to Texas. It's a weird trade. That was a weird trade. I feel like Texas got the worst of that part, you know? I was there when those floods happened. That was wild, right? Right? Who could have seen that coming? I mean, especially once they fired the people and disabled the systems that were designed to see that coming. Feels like that was a big problem. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with how seeing coming works, but it's harder to do when you are also stopping looking. This is science. That's just science. That's how it works in Texas. Yeah, Texas is a weird state. It's a weird state. The governor of Texas is in a wheelchair, and he is fighting inclusion. Feels like a weird, it's like, those are your ramps, dude. Those are your ramps. Just, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're probably tough going up, but coming down, enjoy. You know, just like, that is, Greg Abbott. He is such a ramp is half up kind of guy, you know? So weird.
Let me just say, first off, please go follow Jason Salmon on all of his social media accounts. Clearly fantastic at what he does. When I see someone from a southern state who not only votes blue, but just like has a good idea of what is going on, like, what's the opposite of like doing a Elon, my heart goes out to you at the inauguration? Because like, I feel for y'all, man. I truly do. Just think about it. Like, I live in Chicago. I've lived in LA. I've traveled a bunch. And imagine you are, in New York, LA, Chicago, Atlanta, and then you move to like middle of nowhere, Texas. What culture shock. And what really gets me, this bothers me, is that there are so many online, and I understand it's just online, but there are so many people who, when they see disasters happen or they see like people getting absolutely screwed over by their local politicians, they'll say, that's what they voted for. When you can't do that, that is unjust. It is unfair. Think about being that person who lived in New York, moves, and is under Republican rule in a deep red state. You didn't vote for it. Your neighbors might have. Your family might have. Your friends might have, or associates, or coworkers. I don't know. I don't care. People around you voted for it. But you have to live under it. Like his jokes about Greg Abbott, fair game. When you are pro-fash, anything is fair game. In terms of jokes, almost. Let's say almost. Let's give ourselves some wiggle room. Like the ramp joke was hilarious. I'm not a huge fan of her, but Jasmine Crockett, because she's lining up and defending Chorus and Aaron Parnas and all this stuff. And Aaron Parnas is just a professional news aggregator at this point. Was a Republican until his dad got screwed over. Went to Rudy Giuliani's law firm. I mean, do not fall for this, guys. So, and he carved out a new lane because the old one was broken and done. So, Jasmine Crockett, who defends Aaron Parnas, who I don't love, let's be clear, but when she made the joke about Greg Abbott, people got in their feels about it. And they said, oh, it's too far, it's too far. Meanwhile, what gets me, and I know I'm getting off topic here, but what really gets me is that when you see the reaction, it's so incredibly hypocritical for them to call the left snowflakes when they are the ones, for example, their base represents violence. They will go and try to unalive politicians. They will unalive politicians. They'll take a hammer to a politician's husband. They will send pipe bombs in the mail. And yet when some on the left, it is uncontrollable at this point, when they will say that it'll be a joyous day when it happens, that same crowd is saying, oh, too far, how dare you, too far. Blows my mind. The inability to read the room is astounding. Truly. So anyways, go follow Jason Salmon. I'm a huge fan of what he does, and you should be too.